So what do you think about using anti-inflammatories in
That
terms of
is
running?
an exceptional question.
Thank
So stay tuned, everybody, because there is something coming from the running clinic from Blaise Dubois and his people. They've coined kind of a new way of looking at the acute stage. RICE was the initial thing, rest, ice, compression, elevation. Then PRICE, it went to, being protection. They've gone to peace and love, which is nice. Nice acronym. And we're going to talk about that in a blog post going forward. And that is the acronym for all the individual things that we look at. Okay. One of the things in that, the A in the piece, is avoid anti-inflammatories. That's huge. And let me repeat that: avoid anti-inflammatories. When it comes to healing, right? Your doctors now are advising you that you should not take anti-inflammatories after rotator cuff repair or after any other repair for that matter, because they've shown research-wise that it impedes the healing process, right? And they've also shown that it impedes your ability to heal if it's just simply an injury, okay? There's a certain process that has to occur with this inflammatory response after an injury to expedite the healing process. The macrophages come in, the white blood cells come in to cleanse the area. When people ice and when they use anti-inflammatories, you stop that process. And then you delay your body's ability to heal, right? And then from that, they found that the tendon, if you've used anti-inflammatories, if you've used ice, right, the tendon itself, after it's healed, is actually weaker. And what does that mean? Greater risk for re-injury. So this is stuff that we'll share going forward, but it's a very, very important point going forward. So we avoid ice. We tend to use heat with motion. And like I said, we'll talk more about that later on. So.